Welcome to CES 2019, live from Las Vegas. This is Lenovo Unboxed. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well, Gavin. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hungover, bloated, and happy as we could be, surrounded by new tech, and excited to share something with you today. Kev, what do we got today?
We got the new 4th generation X1 Yoga and the 7th generation X1 Carbon.
It's a lot of generations.
It is, indeed.
The X1 family goes back, did we decide 2013?
I believe it was 2013.
Talk to us a little bit about where we've landed in 2019. Okay. There's a lot of things that these two things have in common.
Yeah.
And then we could talk a little bit about what sets them apart. First of all, before you set it up, who would want a Carbon and who would want a Yoga, maybe?
So to be glib but honest, everybody would want an X1 Carbon. Almost everybody would want an X1 Yoga.
Okay,
right?
Fair enough.
I'll kind of weave the two answers together, right?
Sure.
If we go back to what is X1 supposed to be, the best of what we make, right? Focusing on the audio-visual experience, the overall user experience, but never compromising the underlying durability, reliability, manageability, everything that goes into a ThinkPad.
Right.
Best of what we make.
Sure.
There are many, many similarities in these two that will go together, but for those of you familiar with the product line, the Carbon is the standard clamshell notebook.
Right.
The Yoga flips around 360 degrees and has a pen.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. Talk to me about the design. Again, if you remember, if you're a ThinkPad aficionado, you remember the early days of ThinkPad. They were wonderful machines, but they weighed 58 pounds, right? So talk about the design evolution of these. Let's start with that.
Okay, so thinner and lighter than ever. 2.4 pounds on this one at 14.95 millimeters. 2.99 pounds on this one at 15.25 millimeters. So thinner and lighter than ever. Still everything that makes a ThinkPad, but there's two major design things that people are going to notice.
Okay.
Right? On the X1 Carbon, what we had heard for years from people was that if you're making it out of carbon, we'd like the option to see the carbon fiber.
Right.
Right. So on this year's model, the one with the 4K screen, or when you get the one with the 4K screen, you will also get an exposed carbon fiber weave.
We've made it more obvious, haven't we?
We've made it more obvious.
And again, carbon fiber being the stuff that like airplane wings and race cars are made out of, a fairly legendary material, right?
And it's always had it, but you were just never able to see it before. So we added an extra layer of visible carbon fiber sort of under the covers so that now it's an X1 Carbon, you know it's carbon.
Yep.
The other big engineering change that people will not fail to notice on the X1 Yoga is after years of people telling us that although many people love black, there are people who want silver, who want metallic. We've had metallic finishes on top of carbon fiber in the past, but this year, based on popular demand, the X1 Yoga for 2019 is CNC aluminum.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we invite you in the comments of our YouTube channel to give us your opinion. Which do you prefer? We're always listening. And again, keeping up with the ThinkPad heritage, which is us listening to our customers. I'm not always happy. When we introduced a silver ThinkPad a couple years ago, I was like, no,
heresy,
heresy. Not possible.
But it's what people want. And that's really what it's all about, is giving people, listening to the customer feedback and building the product. So
that's design. Talk about power. Again, ThinkPad always associated with power, ruthless efficiency. What do we have under the hood, Kev?
Right, so both of these are 8th gen Intel Core i processors, and more powerful than anything we've ever made before. 16 gigs of RAM. I believe we are going to have, I know they have 1 terabyte SSDs. I think we are also going to do 2 terabyte SSDs at some point in the product. So
all right, and let's do sights and sounds. Tell me about the display. Again, this is something the older ThinkPads were not known for their beautiful displays. They were very functional, but we've got something special here, don't we?
All right, both of these are available with 4K 500 nit Dolby Vision HDR displays.
I have to say that it's almost immersive to the point where I feel like my head's going to get sucked right into the thing.
So
that could be the meds I'm on as well. So
could be that hangover, could be the bloating.
Could be.
So both of those are going to be available with that, and it's just absolutely stunning and beautiful. For folks who don't want to take it quite to that level, they're both going to be available with 400 nit FHD displays. And in a first for the X1 line, they are both going to be available with ThinkPad Privacy Guard e-privacy screens. Which means that with the simple keystroke, you can make it so that the off-axis viewing angles aren't viewable. There's also going to be software in there that uses the IR camera that when you're using it and your privacy screen isn't necessarily be on, it will know that you're in front of it, but it'll notice that if there's anybody behind you, see eyeballs, face behind you, and give you a proactive notification that somebody's looking over your shoulder and can automatically turn on the privacy screen.
This is the kind of creepy but really super useful technology that we're seeing more of in 2019. It's the kind of stuff that's really useful, and the gaze protection and all this stuff is really cool.
Well, if you build something in and you pay extra for it, you got to make sure you're using it. You got to make sure that it's doing what you're supposed to do it. So adding that sort of automatic invocation and that automatic warning kind of elevates it above just being an e-privacy screen.
And in all seriousness, features with a purpose are what we're all about. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Kev, that's the sights. Let's talk about the sounds. There's another Dolby factor going on in the sounds. Tell me about it.
Both of these have been completely re-engineered underneath the cover. They now both have four speakers, 2 woofers in the bottom, 2 tweeters in the top.
Yep.
So they are both now Dolby Atmos speaker system certified. So you get the Dolby Atmos surround sound to go along with the Dolby Vision, and also they are both redesigned to have 4 far-field microphones on top. The antennas are also completely redesigned for the wireless LAN and the wireless WAN in these products. So it really sort of adds like almost a 5th mode to the Yoga.
Right.
Because what we realize is that going forward, people are going to want to be using these things for audio conferencing and for digital voice assistants, even when they're closed.
Honestly, we use them for audio conferencing like 93 hours a day at work. So yeah, I appreciate that.
So 4 far-field microphones that are specifically designed to be on top of the screen, so that when you close it, right, with the redesigned antennas, which now are designed to work even when the lid is closed. Any part of the always on, always connected kind of paradigm that you want to participate in is totally going to work in any mode. Right. So a lot of under the cover stuff that may not be immediately visible to people, but that's there.
Well, you know how it is too. The nerds, the engineers, the IT guys, the techies know about this stuff, and it may be subtle and it may go over the head of a lot of us, but it's what the detail in engineering that people I think count on from us, frankly.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about another sort of a fairly subtle redesign which had to do with mobility. So we have an addition and a redesign aspect to the mobility factor, right?
So that goes back to the antenna redesign. So on both of these, the wireless WAN antennas are now built into the outside edges here. On the X1 Carbon, the wireless LAN, your regular Wi-Fi antennas are here. And on the X1 Yoga, they're built into the hinge. They both now support Cat 16 LTE, and like I said, specifically designed for the audio and for the wireless capability to all work even when the lid is closed. So audio conferencing, always on, always connected, retrieving email, doing stuff in the background, whatever you want to do, however you want to use it, that's all there for you.
Cool. So all of this in the service of, again, primarily business users just being as efficient and productive as they can be. The last thing I wanted to make sure we hit was security. So again, in the enterprise, it doesn't matter if you're a single user and you work for yourself or if you're in a big company, security features matter to people. So what do we got going on?
Okay, so I talked about the IR camera and the e-privacy option, right? We've also got a redesigned Think shutter for this year. So the cameras, plural, which used to be 2 separate units in previous years, are now combined. So you've got your webcam and your IR camera for facial recognition combined into one. You can totally cover that with the Think shutter. So this is all, by the way, part of Think Shield, our umbrella term for all the security that we build into the products. So we've got the e-privacy, the IR camera doing the gaze detection for that, the Think shutter, the new and improved match-on-chip fingerprint readers in both of these, as well as all the other stuff that comes along with Think Shield, all the security process and everything that's fundamentally built into ThinkPad.
So if you have any security problems, it's probably your own doing. You know, when you got up to go to the bathroom at Starbucks and you know, you were in longer than you wanted. And we won't go into that. So Kev, we talked about what they have in common. Let's take a quick moment and focus on each of them separately. Start with Carbon, if you would. And talk to us a little bit more about what sets the Carbon apart from the Yoga. And I know it's primarily the design.
It is. It's subtle on purpose, but as we said, exposed carbon fiber weave. 2.4 pounds. Anybody who wants the lightest, thinnest, latest, greatest, essentially the best thing we make. That's the 2 of these. The lighter
and real quick, sorry about that. I wanted to make sure we remember this. The Carbon is going to be available in June, and it is starting at $1709 in the US. Obviously, you want to check wherever you live to see what the prices are.
Yoga is kind of a step up in functionality, right? It adds the 360-degree hinge and the built-in pin. Right? So like I said, now a new, I don't think I mentioned the color, iron gray. Right? A very, very dark, and I think pretty cool looking gray.
It could be none more gray.
Thank you for the Spinal Tap reference.
Very welcome.
But it spins around 360 degrees, obviously, to become a tablet.
I hear they were going to try to do 370 degrees this year for it, but they were unable. Is that true?
That 4th dimensional, you know, Doctor Who type thing.
I saw that on Reddit.
Pen, stylus for for drawing.
So this one is $19.29 US to start. Also coming in June. Check your local listings for all that stuff.
And lastly, but absolutely not leastly, you will have not failed to notice that I just put that X1 Yoga into a dock and docked it. Right. So we've had common docking across the overwhelming majority of our ThinkPad line for the last 2 years. But now we are bringing, finally, the X1 Yoga into that fold. So for those of you who want traditional mechanical hardware docking, now available in the X1 Yoga.
That's cool, and that is a big development. I think that's cool. Have a damn good rest of the week. Gavin,
pleasure as always, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you all very much.
Cheers. Take care.